Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. I had a question recently that was, hey Craig, what is your favorite TCG thing to invest in? And I think if you've watched this channel for a while, you can probably guess it's sealed product. And yes, I do have a pretty, well, I'll say it's a fairly respectable stack of old reserve list cards, most of them in the kind of $10 to $50 range. That gives you kind of an idea. I have several hundred of them, but um, that's not really what I love investing in. It's nice, and I love to look at those cards. And the problem is, I probably love those cards too much, and it's going to be hard to ever sell any of them and realize a return on the investment. Whereas sealed product, it's pretty hard to get emotionally attached to a sealed box. Maybe if it's a particular sealed box from a particular set that you had a strong emotional attachment to at the time, then yes. But in general, one set after another, four standard Magic sets a year, four standard Pokemon sets a year, three Flesh and Blood sets a year, a bunch of premium Magic products, some off cycle Pokemon products, everything else is hard to get attached to that much sealed product. And so it's easy to part with it. What I really love about sealed product is the gambler's premium. You don't know what's in this box, and I can dream that the foil Japanese mystical archive demonic tutor is in this box, and the time warp also. And those are two great cards in beautiful treatments that come in this box or can potentially come in this box. And I think on the long timeline, those Japanese mystical archives will not be reprinted in those artworks. I think they are, well, not quite safe from reprinting, but they are very robust against it. And so I think that will hold up the price, specifically of Strixhaven collector boxes, long into the future. And so this keeping this gambler's premium intact is part of why I like this, why I like investing in sealed product. And you can imagine there are people who specifically just want that Japanese foil mystical archive demonic tutor. They want that one card. And where might they get it? Well, they'll probably go buy the single if they're smart. They may decide to buy a couple of these boxes and try to pull the card themselves. And if they buy up the singles and a dealer, a card store owner, or a box breaker sees that the market is out of balance, they may say, well, I should just buy the boxes and open them myself and then do that. And so on the long timeline, sealed product can satisfy many different types of participants in the market. The people looking for cards to play with, the collectors looking for specific cards, people who simply want boxes to put up on the shelf and display, or people looking to initiate a position in a specific type of box as an investment themselves, at the same time that you're happy with the returns you've gained on it and you're ready to get out of that specific investment and reallocate that capital to something else. And so those are all of the great things that sealed product does. And, we have things like this Modern Horizons 2 collector boxes, of course, the best set of the post COVID era, and just the number of great cards that can come in here. Monkey Pirates and foil Monkey Pirates, fetch lands and foil fetch lands, and Sentinels and everything else. Just so many great cards in this set that the gambler premium is very high. You could pull an absolutely out of the park box opening one of these, and you could potentially get close to $1,000 of value if the pools were great. And if not, you would struggle to recoup the money that you spent buying the box. And that's just the reality of sealed product, opening sealed product, and collapsing the gambler's premium down into the actual value of the specific box you opened. And again, Kamigawa Neon Dynasty with the Hitasugu Neon Parallel Chase cards, and Double Masters 2022 with Vampiric Seal and Mana Drain and all the other great cards that were stuffed into this set, as well as the first examples of textured foils with actually the really good version of texture foil, not just lazily applying the texture over the entire card, but rather masking it to go with the artwork on the specific cards that got that treatment. And so, you can see that when you get into these, we'll say, we'll loosely use the word premium since Kamigawa and Strixhaven are standard sets, but we'll loosely use the word premium that with these kind of premium sealed products, the gambler's premium that is on top of the product's value can be very high, and it creates a lot of opportunity for good returns in the future. And now I had said that I have two answers to this question. And so the second answer is kind of a subset of the first answer. And it is still sealed product, but it is sealed product where you can capture inverted EV on a short timeline. And so let's imagine right now that the average estimated value of all of the singles inside a sealed booster box of Evolving Skies might be worth about $250. We'll just kind of make up that number. The sealed booster boxes themselves are selling somewhere around $280 today, which is about $7 per booster pack. So, if you have the opportunity to buy sleeved Evolving Skies booster packs for between $2.50 and $3, when the equivalent price bought at the booster box level is $7, you're capturing the inverted EV in between these booster packs and the boxes and the value of the cards inside the box. And it's a question of who do you think is right and who do you think is wrong? And so if people buying singles on the market say, well, the EV of a box of Evolving Skies is about $250, do you think they are the ones who are wrong? Remember, they're the ones who are closer down to the fundamental base product, which is the actual cards themselves. And they're telling you the actual cards are worth about $250 for a randomized booster box's worth of Evolving Skies. And so when you see that you can buy sleeved booster packs for $2.50 to $3 per pack, which comes to about $90 to $110 per booster box, instead of the $280 for booster box if you were to just go and buy a sealed booster box of Evolving Skies today, then you're capturing the difference in value. And now, one of two things will happen. Either the singles have to come down in price to match this, let's call it $110 per booster box for 36 sleeved booster packs, or the value of the booster packs, the sleeved ones that are selling for $2.50 to $3, that has to come up to about $7, the equivalent of what you would pay for 36 packs buying a sealed booster box. So one of those two things has to happen. And remember, I think that the people setting the value of single cards, they are closer to the truth. They are closer to the real market value because that is the price of the individual singles adjusted for rarity and everything else within the boxes. And so it's more likely that the sealed product, in this case, the sleeved boosters that are selling too cheap, need to come up in price than it is that the singles are selling for too much and need to come down in price. Now, the reality is there will be a little bit of both, but it will mostly be the sealed product coming up in value, not the singles coming down in value. But of course, Moonbryon is still selling for close to $400 right now, $450, something like that. But Moonbryon will probably come down in price, $50, $100 over the next several months. That will be one of those cards that corrects a little harder since it's the most valuable single in the set. But overall, you should expect that these sleeved booster packs will come up in price on the short term. And then that's not even to speak of the long term, which is on the long timeline, they'll eventually close in somewhere close to the value of a sealed booster box. They won't ever achieve the actual value of a sealed booster box because they are not a sealed booster box. And so they will close in on it over time, and you will capture that additional long-term gain so much compound annual growth rate year over year into the future. But in the short term, what I love about buying sealed product with inverted EV is you get the opportunity to capture some of that value in terms of just valuation. You don't actually get the dollars in your hands, but you get some of that increase in value on paper on a much shorter timeline, and you're buying stuff at a discount. And so that would kind of be my second-ish answer, is it's sealed product that has currently inverted EV. And so that's the answer to my question of what do I enjoy investing in the most. And of course, yes, I do love single cards. There are a lot of old cards from the 1990s, from Magic's history, that I love just looking at. And I have big stacks of them, and sometimes I just thumb through them, looking at some of the great old cards and feeling nostalgic and enjoying myself. But again, that's the reason why it's difficult for me to turn those into investments. I worry that I would have trouble selling them. So let me know what you think. What's your answer? And otherwise, other questions that you have, leave them below. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join me on Final Trade. Thanks a lot.